Imagine a world where time bends, where two souls from vastly different eras could meet and share their deepest thoughts. What if the 13th century mystic poet, Jalaluddin Rumi, sat down with the queen of pop Madonna in a vibrant, sun-drenched garden? What would they talk about? Let's step into that world. Picture this. Rumi, with his serene gaze and timeless wisdom, sits across from Madonna, a woman who has constantly reinvented herself, challenging conventions at every turn. Rumi might begin. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Madonna, ever the provocateur and artist, might nod thoughtfully. I've always believed that. My art comes from my pain, from my struggles. It's about transformation. I take what hurts and turn it into something people can dance to, something that empowers them. We both use our experiences, our wounds, to create a connection, don't we? You with your words, me with my music and performance. Rumi would smile gently. Indeed. Art is a bridge. It's the soul's attempt to speak a universal language. You sing of material love, of physical expression, and yet, beneath it all, isn't there a yearning for something more? A longing for a love that transcends the temporary? Absolutely. Madonna would counter, her eyes alight with passion. People misunderstand. They see the surface, the controversy, but like a prayer, for example, is about that very transcendence. It's about finding the divine and the human, the sacred and the profane. It's about the ecstasy of connection, whether it's with another person or with a higher power. Isn't that what your poetry does? It takes the earthly experience of love and elevates it to the divine. Rumi would listen, his focus absolute. You speak of expression. Express yourself. Don't repress yourself, you say. I believe that too. But true expression comes from knowing the self first. Who am I in the midst of all this thought traffic? The world is full of noise, of distractions that pull us away from our true nature. How do you find your silence in the midst of the roaring crowd? Madonna might lean forward, her confidence unwavering. For me, the stage is my meditation, the discipline, the focus required to perform. It silences the noise. It's a ritual. In that moment, I'm not just Madonna the celebrity. I'm a vessel for the music, for the energy of the audience. It's a form of surrender, but I also need solitude. I need to retreat from the world to hear my own voice again. It's a balance. You found your truth in whirling, in losing yourself, in divine movement. I find mine under the stage lights, in losing myself in the performance. Rumi might then turn his gaze to the flowers around them. Look at this garden. Every flower blooms in its own time, in its own way. None of them try to be another. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. You have reinvented yourself many times. Is this a shedding of old leaves, or is it a search for a true self you have not yet found? It's both, Madonna would admit. A rare moment of vulnerability in her voice. Each persona I've adopted was a reflection of who I was at that time, a part of my journey. I am not afraid to let go of who I was yesterday to become who I need to be tomorrow. Life is about evolution. To stay static is to die. We must constantly challenge ourselves, our beliefs, our art. You wrote, let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. For me, that pull has always been towards breaking boundaries, towards asking uncomfortable questions. Rumi would nod in understanding. The questions are often more important than the answers. Your art provokes. It makes people question authority, society, even themselves. This is a powerful form of love. It is a love that does not seek comfort, but truth. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along. Madonna would smile, a genuine, knowing smile. And what is love, really? Is it the all-consuming passion you write about? The annihilation of the self and the beloved? Or is it the courage to love oneself, fiercely and unapologetically, in a world that often tries to tear you down? Rumi's eyes would sparkle. They are two sides of the same coin. You cannot truly love another until you have found the ocean of love within yourself. Self-love is not vanity. It is the recognition of the divine spark within. When you love yourself, you see that same spark in everyone. The you and the I disappear, and only love remains. Your journey of self-expression, of demanding respect and love for yourself, is a spiritual path in its own right. The divine can be found in all things, if you know how to look. The longing for a beautiful thing is the longing for beauty itself. The desire for connection is the desire for unity. Your stage is your prayer mat. Your songs are your hymns. The message is the same, wrapped in a different cloth for a different time. They would sit in comfortable silence for a moment, the poet and the pop star, two masters of their craft who, despite centuries and cultures apart, spoke the same language of the soul. Madonna might break the silence. You know, for all the talk of love and spirit, life is also about struggle. It's about fighting for what you believe in. I've fought my whole life, fought for creative control, for my voice to be heard, for women to have power. Rumi would meet her gaze. And that fight is a form of prayer. I am not this hair. I am not this skin. I am the soul that lives within. The fight is not for the temporary self, but for the eternal principle of freedom, of truth. It is the rebellion against confinement. Your rebellion has inspired millions to find their own strength. You teach them not to be prisoners of other people's expectations. And you, Madonna would say, her voice softening, you teach them that the prison bars are an illusion to begin with, that freedom is already inside us, waiting to be discovered. At the moment you accept what troubles you've been given, the door will open. Their conversation would drift, weaving through art and fame, low and lus, the sacred and the profane, finding common ground where none seemed to exist. Two rebels, two mystics, two artists who understood that the ultimate purpose of life is to create, to connect, and to love. They showed us that whether through a 13th century poem or a 21st century pop song, the human heart is always searching for the same thing. A way back to itself, a way back to the light. If you enjoy diving into the minds of great thinkers and exploring profound ideas like these, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing for more journeys into the heart of philosophy and art.